Thank you very much, everyone, for waiting. I was notified that, oh, welcome, sir. Oh, I think you're still on mute, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll just start with our ministerial talk for today. So I'll just repeat from what I said earlier. My name is Rizka Maulida. I'm currently a PhD student in University of Cambridge studying epidemiology. I would like to welcome our special guest for our first ministerial talk, Mr. Budi Gunadi Sadikin, the Minister of Health of Republic of Indonesia. So we are so grateful and honored to have you with us today. How are you today, sir?
Good, Rizka. Rizka, how long have you been in UK?
I've been in the UK for about 2 years, sir.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
My daughter studied at Imperial College, but she just finished her study and back to Indonesia.
Oh, that is very nice. Congratulations. So yeah, I'll just quickly move forward to our session. Is that okay with you?
Yeah,
so,
please.
So as one of the key figures in Indonesia's battle against the COVID-19 pandemic, we hope that you are well and still have the energy to go through the challenging days ahead. So unfortunately, we have so many questions, but for today, I only ask a few questions because of our limited time, and I'm sure you're very busy. So first of all, so I'll be asking several questions regarding Indonesia's strategy to navigate the very challenging COVID-19 situation right now. And firstly, Indonesia is recording the highest number of COVID-19 cases and deaths among all countries in the Southeast Asia region. What do you think are the most challenging problems for Indonesia as a country in handling this pandemic up until today?
Rizka, human beings have seen pandemic for hundreds of years and more. And all of us understand that the main objective to control the pandemic is to flatten the curve. That is what scientists always tell us, or to reduce the transmission rate. Because most of the pandemic will be there for more than 10 years, 50 years, sometimes more than 100 years. Like polio has been there for many, many years. Tuberculosis has been there for, many, many years also as also HIV AIDS. The objective is impossible to kill this pandemic in a very short term. Most likely we have to live with this virus for a long time. Therefore, our objective is to flatten the curve, to reduce the speed of transmissions. So at any time, the number of people that need treatment always below the capacity of our hospital system. So that is the objective. And then WHO has given us 4 key strategies how to do it. First one is what we call the standard, the health protocols. You have to make sure that there is a standard health protocols that you have to follow. And then the second strategy is about detections, testing, tracing, and treatment. Third strategy, vaccination, and then fourth strategy, therapeutics or treatment. The first 3 strategies are related with healthy people, strategy for healthy people, to avoid you to become sick. But if you become sick, then we have the fourth strategy, treatment, hospitals, number of beds, ICUs, medical equipment, the doctors, the medicine, etc. Now, you ask me, what are the biggest challenges for Indonesia? The biggest challenge is indeed the first one, which is the cost. Treatment or hospital is the result. It is a downstream, not the upstream. So what we need to do is actually at the upstream. We need to reduce the transmission by change our behavior. We need to reduce the transmissions, by following a new protocol, health protocol standard. We call it 3M. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and keep a distance. And this is indeed very difficult for Indonesian people because we are culturally not a disciplined nation. So If we can solve these issues or we can enforce these issues, that is fine. But if we take the US route that admit it is almost impossible to change the behavior of our people, that goes straight to strategy number 3. Do mass vaccination as quickly as possible. So I stop here for your next questions.
Oh,
You are still on mute.
Yeah, sorry about that, sir. So yeah, that was very insightful, and I know we have heard a lot of M's lately today. You just mentioned the 3, and then I've seen 5 M's and then 6 M's, and yeah. But yeah, that thank you very much for answering, and it's clear that we are still concentrating mostly on the 3 M's, and then the additional M's are also equally important. I'll move on to my next question. The ever-evolving nature of the current pandemic makes it very difficult to plan ahead, as things change very quickly. For example, we are now facing the threat of a new and more transmissible variant of the virus. What is Indonesia's strategy to overcome this kind of situation? Are there any short and long-term aims and plans to make sure that the pandemic will be less destructive to people's lives, especially with the new variant, with the new Delta variant?
Okay. When I joined as the Ministry of Health by the end of December, I take a look at the Indonesian virus strain. And to my surprise, we don't have any other variant of concern. WHO at that time determined at that time it's still 3 variants of concerns. The UK variant, the South American, and the South African. B117 UK, P1 for the Brazil, and B1351 for the South Africa. So we don't have any. So I feel very, very happy. Then I realized something very funny, because Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, Philippines, Australia already have those at least 2 variant of concerns of WHO. So I said to myself, why Indonesia we don't have any? And then I checked how many whole genome sequencing that we have done. In the last 9 months, from March until December, we only did 142 genome sequencing. I compare to Singapore, if I'm not mistaken, they did 2,000 or 3,000. If I compare to UK, they did 30,000. So I think something must be wrong. And then 2 weeks after that, on 8th of January, we established a network of labs, because in Indonesia, there are only 12 labs that can do genome sequencing. And 4 are under Ministry of Health. The rest is under Ministry of Research and Technology at that time. So we established the lab and we do accelerations in terms of genome sequencing. By now, we have done more than 3,000 genome sequencing in 6 months, compared with 142 in 9 months last year. And it's not a surprise that we found almost everything. Now the UK variant, the alpha mutation is here, the gamma mutation is here, the delta mutation is here, except the South Africa, which we haven't found yet. And then we realized that we have to respond, especially after the delta has been announced, and we noticed the impact to the India is extremely ugly, extremely ugly. To be honest, we are a little bit late in responding, because we slightly underestimate the impact of these new mutations. Lala, can Lala show us presentasinya Naim yang terakhir lah, about the alpha and delta, and then what CD value that they have. So based on our observation, the delta mutation has on the average lower CD value compared with the normal previous mutations. So before, we only see if you got confirmed, your CT is 22, 23, 24. But now if you got hit by delta, it can go to 15, 14, and sometimes next slide, sometimes even below 10. So if you take a look, this is alpha, this is delta. It's based on UK data especially. So the city values mostly in alpha is here, but in delta you have this. So that is the first difference. The second difference is it is also shorter actually. So the period is shorter. It's shorter. So usually it takes 14 days or 15 days after onset where the virus become non-active. Delta is faster. It means that you need medical intervention also faster. You will save faster, you will leave the hospital faster, but you can die faster too. You can die faster too. So there should be a difference in terms of treatment for both alpha and delta. I give example on our next chart. Next chart. So this is our research in West Sumatra, because West Sumatra is quite disciplined in terms of putting the city values of all of the testing. As you can see, before delta, the average minimum is 12.15. But after delta, the average minimum is 8. So it's very, very low. And until now, we haven't confirmed any genome sequencing delta in West Sumatra. Because if we compare with Jakarta, Kudus, Bangkalan, that it already confirmed as a delta mutation, the minimum QD value is 9. So what we notice here is that West Sumatra, although it is not yet confirmed we found a delta, the behavior of the portfolio, the behavior of the people that got sick is already resemblance of a delta mutations. And therefore we will implement a much stronger mobility restrictions and also more frequent genome sequencing sample from West Sumatra. Yang ada petanya ada nggak lah? Yang peta Indonesia. Bukannya ini. Ada satu lagi yang presentasi Naif yang ada Indonesian map that show how the Delta variants has mutated and spread all over the country. Now is primarily in Java. So we are scrambling because the transmission rate is much faster in Java, but hopefully we can do better anticipation outside of Java because we have identified the pattern where the Delta mutation has been spread. Gitu mungkin. I stop here first.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Budi. Unfortunately, we have limited time, but thank you very much for sharing and for your time. I hope you have a great day, and thank you everyone for listening to this ministerial talk. And stay tuned because we have another special guest just in a moment, who is actually the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs. Thank you.
Okay, see you then.